So today, as promised, we're doing a live stream with Bridget, and we're gonna be discussing tainted blood. And Bridget was actually infected with tainted blood herself, and she knows it from a personal angle, and she also knows a lot of other people, sadly some that have passed, some that are related to people that have passed, and some people that are actually like herself suffering. And because she's gone through that process, she also knows a lot of the legal side, the medical side, and the implications on individuals themselves. Hi Bridget, you okay, love?
Hi, Melania. Okay, okay, as you can see, I am my co-host. We got
Hi Pebble.
Brian, I got
Hiya.
Pebble.
And what's the name of your channel, Bridget?
It's BCTV, a different videographer with opinion, and I also have BC rights again.
If we get an opportunity, we'll tag them under the live stream, or if not, we'll add them onto the community post that we put on today. So at some point, they'll
Yeah,
either be on the live stream or the community post.
right, okay.
So basically, we had a catch up this afternoon, didn't we?
Yeah,
Just to let
we
people
did.
know that we were coming live,
Yeah,
and we just slightly touched on a few of the topics. Excuse me, I've got a slight cough. And in between, you've been sending me little bits of information, haven't you? Different videos, things to read.
yeah.
And it's somewhat of a slow process, isn't it, Bridget?
It is, is
Now,
the,
going back to when you first discovered you had haemophilia, how old were you, Bridget? And was yours hereditary?
mine is complex with the minute. So I was around 6, 7. And if I celebrate cut myself, it would gush, literally gush. And if
So
I
anyone who
had,
doesn't understand Bridget's lingo there, when she says it would gush, it means it was absolutely spurt out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like, I never picked up on it for a long time. And then I was like 6, 7, maybe they did blood test, and that said it was same day.
Wow.
But most people it's hereditary, but there's no hereditary.
Went away to the living school, the boarding school. So if you discovered haemophilia when you were 7, did you go
Yeah,
to that school that we've been watching on TV? What's it called? True
the
Telus.
medical college.
Did you go there?
Yeah, yeah,
And was that based in Wales? And
yeah.
how old were you when you went there, love?
11.
11. Right.
And I left it
So were you
for,
in mainstream school before that?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And did you
That's
find it
it.
difficult? Did you find it difficult in the main school? Were you
No, no,
ridiculed or
no, no,
no?
no. What happened was in the words of Jeff, right? it came about she's getting older, she needs to learn how to cope with everything. The best way to make her independent is to send her 300 miles away, not knowing anyone, leaving all my friends, leaving the family behind, Decision ever made.
Sorry, I didn't catch that last bit, Bridget.
It was the worst decision ever made.
To send you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did nothing for me. Nothing at all. What I learned there, I could literally write on a very tiny piece of paper. It taught me nothing. And you know, it was meant to be the school of excellence, but all it was a human.
See, one guy said he was so pleased with going to the school because he struggled in the mainstream education because the headmaster had pointed him out and everyone was aware of his haemophilia, and obviously he got bullied because they were saying, oh well, if we punch you, what'll happen if we punch you? And with him being boisterous and a boy.
One of my mates, I was
Yeah.
because you know they were both in the documentary.
Right.
Yeah.
And are you not in that documentary?
No,
Time scale.
I walked away from that.
Brought it all back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were there for 18 months and then the treatment started that created the infection in you.
Yeah.
How long before you actually noticed any difference? Or did you feel different straight away?
No. It was several years later.
Yeah.
I left school. I'd gone through college. My son was about 8, 9, and I was asked to have a repeat blood test because I had unusual markers.
All right.
I ended up having about 6 then, and then they were questioning me about drugs, about drink. Well, I was in my mid-teens by then, 18.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'd been drinking.
Yeah.
Of course, I'd been around things,
Yeah.
but not huge. I mean, most of my friends went into it anyway, so
Mhm.
the old
And you
time,
certainly weren't going to be an injector or anything like that
no,
anyway.
no,
You know, it
no,
might have been a little bit of alcohol, and as you say, you might have smoked a joint occasionally, you know, with your friends just being a bit rebellious, but you weren't doing
yeah,
anything
no,
crazy.
none of that,
Mhm.
none of us
Mhm.
were doing that, no,
Mhm.
and like it was like, well, we don't know where you got it,
What I
and
found strange is where you're saying it was many years later for you to discover
yeah,
that you were infected. There are
yeah,
some, I mean, and this runs parallel with other medications, such as I keep relating this back to
yeah, I
happened
know,
in 2020. I know it's a completely different issue, but I think we're going to have a rise of similar things come in the future because it's around the
yeah,
same scenario, if you will. I have to
yeah,
somewhat speak in code so we don't get blocked or banned. Um, but what I find strange is the way our bodies individually deal with it. So some people will have noticed the change straight away and how the medication affected them instantly. Some people will take a couple of years, a few years into the teenage years and be instantly affected, turned into HIV, turned into the HEPs, turned into whatever. And then some people, as you say, will have had children, will have got married, will have got into an older part of their life. And then suddenly it's different degrees. There'll be blood infections, there'll be hepatitis C's, B's, A's, there'll be HIV, and you know, there's different
and like
levels of how it affects the
Katie,
individual.
not right,
Yeah.
Emma, she did something on the radio about she went to a doctor and you go away, blah blah
Yeah, not listening
blah,
to you.
but no. Well, then she got pregnant again, and they put her in an old ward, not connected to maternity, and locked her in the room
Wow.
and told her to get on with it because by that time they secretly knew she had hepatitis C, and they were like, they didn't want to know, and they just shut her in this room to give birth on her, on her own
It's
with
disgusting.
her husband.
That's absolutely disgusting. It's just treated like cattle, isn't it? It's disgusting.
Yeah, but they infected her at the same hospital when had uh, she had her twins, and she had like a really bad bleed, and like they gave her like 19 units of blood and did not do knowledge of it.
So how was the baby affected?
He wasn't. His
Mm, it's okay.
percent is fine. I mean, Michelle was a grandmother of 7 now.
Wow. Good on
But,
her.
yeah, but she thought that she,
That's great. See that? Yeah, no, that's brilliant.
yeah. I'm gonna have to plug in the other room. My battery's a
All right.
bit low.
Love.
One minute,
Stay up then.
1 minute.
Hiya,
It's
Caramel. Thank you so much for joining
funny.
us, love. I missed that, love.
I won't.
1 minute.
No problem. I'll
Okay.
just. Caramel's joined us, so she's with us.
Good evening, Caramel.
Hi,
I don't.
Caramel.
I don't know if anyone else is with us. Have we got anyone else on board?
5.
If you're there, give us a thumbs up and say hello.
Um, hang on.
When
1 minute.
we were younger, in the 80s, we didn't really know about tainted blood or anything like that. But what we became aware of in everyday life wasn't social media back then, on the news, on the radio, in the newspapers, word of mouth, you heard an awful lot about HIV and AIDS. And we were told in them days it was either drug addicts, gay men, and bisexual men, and to be scared of men basically because we got told initially an African man had sex with a monkey, and then this was how AIDS was initially created.
Yeah.
And then apparently, a lot of gay men had to be tested, had to have all that checked out, and then bisexual men would get it, and then they'd take it home to the wives or the girlfriends or people they were sleeping around with, and it was supposed to be either an injection transmitted disease or a sexually transmitted disease, and everybody believed it across the board.
We were told not to even touch people with.
We went to Liverpool, me and a group of friends. I didn't know Brian at the early 80s. And, we'd gone round punk sections and different things. A really good day out in Liverpool. We'd gone to enjoy ourselves. And in them days, you had a lot of political speakers on. You couldn't use a towel in the house. You couldn't use amenities that the family, and she was treated like a leper, basically. And she said she hadn't taken drugs in her life. She hadn't had promiscuous sex. She'd only ever been in one relationship. And I sat there crying. I was probably about 17, 18, and I sat there crying my eyes out because what this girl was going through was just absolutely bizarre. And being a young girl myself and not knowing how to deal with that, we left, and yeah, it played on our minds for a long, long time. But I don't know what become of that young lady, or how her life went, or whatever. And now hearing the information that, just say quickly hello to Trina.
Hi,
Uh,
Tina. Hi. They kept everything separate.
yeah,
Cutlery, plates, clothes, even dented pens and paper in the classroom. They kept it all separate.
crazy, isn't it? I mean, as if you were going to catch anything from sharing the biro.
That's what we were told.
But we were taught all of that. It was crazy.
Yeah, and
But it was
then
brainwashing, wasn't it?
it
We
was,
know. we know years later, if you just let me go off on a tangent because this is what I do, we know years later such things as Bill Gates being abroad in Africa, and the Ebola infections and things like that. So again, an injection that they were given to the African ladies to prevent them from having pregnancies or to induce miscarriages or to do those types of things. And again, it might be a slightly different ingredient, but it's exactly the same scenario. And we
Yeah,
know it's getting tried and tested in so many different ways. And what people don't realise is, what year did this start? 1970.
yeah. Or having relationships that they want nothing never can. Same on me, I know 'cause my nan told me it went on. Um,
It's just actually covered that. So she was basically, after she'd had a first child, and herself and other people have the same kind of symptoms. So it's like itchy skin. What were your other symptoms, Bridget?
yeah, around the eyes,
Yeah,
a little bit of yellow,
yeah.
vomiting.
And vomiting as well, really? Wow.
Those were the main symptoms.
When, did they
And
actually ever give you this? Sorry.
I'm tired now. Hi guys.
Hi, guys. Everyone's saying it's buffering, so I'm trying to see if I can kind of keep it away from it.
Didn't do that. I said, Mum, I have on my treatment. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
It's just
then,
an excuse to try and hang the hat on that instead of admitting the truth, weren't they?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, that's the worst part of it. They knew what they were doing. They were importing that blood from America, knowing that it was drug addicts' blood and from prisons, and even like the minister of Scotland said, "No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to use that blood. It's a disaster waiting to happen."
Yeah,
And they even said
was.
they wouldn't use that
So
blood.
Scotland didn't use theirs, and then they had a right not to, so they demanded they weren't going to do it. Somewhere else, what we discovered
Ireland.
today, what we discovered today was Scotland were able to say no, we're not going to use it for a certain percentage of time. Who was in
Yeah,
power?
I
Was it David
know.
Steele?
No, he
But,
wasn't empowered. He was
Oh,
like the
David
medical.
Steele was the medical person for Scotland at that
No, not
time.
Scotland, England.
Oh, for England.
And the
Um,
England.
Scottish minister
and
wouldn't
the
use it.
Scottish minister wouldn't use it. David Steele
No.
didn't want to use it, and said we could use our English resources.
David Steele was better into using it because of the implications of the cost of what it took to make the cream.
Yeah.
It takes 10,000 donors for one of them little
The
bottles.
vials. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, what we saw is he was able to hold it off for a while because of the cost
it
implications,
is.
as you
Yeah,
say. And he
yeah,
held it off for a long while and asked people to donate within England, within the
yeah,
UK,
yeah,
to
it
keep it
is.
going that way. But it was dwindling, apparently, so they say, the amount of blood that they were having in the
Yeah,
reserve. Then all
yeah,
of a sudden, Japanese ministers and pharmaceutical people Chinese ministers, pharmaceutical people, and French ministers and pharmaceutical people were imprisoned. You know, later on they were arrested, imprisoned, and were put away for it.
Been available in the last 8-9 years.
Oh, right, okay.
You know, up until then, we had
Well,
to have.
psychologically, they still put a cost on human life at that stage.
Yeah,
They still said, well, that's £1,000 a vial, so that life isn't worth £1,000. So psychologically, they put a cost on each human head there, didn't they?
Well, the main doctor said.
and mainly children.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the bit where I took the bedroom hemophilia. Let me explain a bit more what that is.
Yes, please.
Celebrating hemophilia would have been a hemophilia that hadn't had any product, none at
Yeah.
all. They
So that was,
are,
they were called, were basically, it was designed for haemophiliacs. So there were medical staff on site. There was a mini hospital. There were ward areas. So if someone did have a bleed that wouldn't stop, they had on-site medical attention, beds where they could rest up.
yeah,
Besides,
the man beyond the medical college was from here in Cornwall, in the skills and the productive in society.
I mean, the one standout factor to me is each and every one that's spoken that I've seen on documentaries or different programs seem highly educated. Everybody that I've seen go through this process seem highly intelligent.
Correct.
If it is buffering, try going out and coming back in.
We were there between us.
Yeah.
We were there studying for the NHS.
Hmm.
We, some people there, this will come out wrong, but I'm saying
Just say it. Yeah.
they should not have been difficult to parents. They do not be keeping touch. And they said if we know, we wouldn't have sent our children to Trelawney. No way. And that included my mum.
That's it. They'd be left with that guilt complex, that shoulda, woulda, coulda. If I could go back now, I wouldn't do it again. And it's like
That
mental torture.
exactly how it was. And like she said, I should have gone with my gut instinct. You
Yeah,
should have never been there. And I'm like, well, you did it, and here we are. I mean, this was 20-odd years ago that we talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Said, yeah, but I ruined your life. I meant, no, you never. I said, in anything, it taught me that I can do what I want to do and how I want to do it.
Exactly. Very strong. I say very intelligent, very determined. I appreciate that. And this is no disrespect to you, but had you not gone through that, and how far would you have gone with your teaching career? How far would you have gone with different things that you know, the time, the stress levels that not only it did to you, but it did to family. And it although you're determined, although you still create, although you're still a very positive woman, I don't want this to sound on a negative tangent, but without all the worry, the stress, the health issues related. And do you think the stroke had anything to do with the tainted blood?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, don't answer
Can't
for
say.
it.
You say that, but my friend at the time was about age 33.
Wow.
On this autopsy, it says caused the hematoma in his brain. Then it is complicated by AIDS and haemophilia.
Yeah. See that I wanted to hear it in your own words, you see, rather than Brian answer for you, because we can automatically put the dots together, but we're just looking in without detail.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of things like dentists won't touch me. If I needed a blood transfusion a while ago, I refused it. I went, no, I'm not doing
Not
it.
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing it. And I said, you know, after what you did to me, no way. You're not doing any more to me using
Done
blood.
Yeah. Now, to this day, obviously, you'll have to take some medication for your haemophilia. So,
Yeah,
do you take synthetic medicine now?
yeah.
And you have to
I,
do that daily?
no, monthly now, because the compounding hemophil is so good at clotting. I only need one load a month,
Lovely.
so when it comes from
The case.
the year, or if you get the what's the other one we top up? I don't get
Disability
it.
living allowance.
Just gone.
Is it not universal credit or something like that? Job
No,
seekers.
I'm
No.
not on that. No. Um,
Is there any indication when you will get your compensation? Is it any time soon, or is it still
Well,
years away?
so far, would you like to guess how many got their money, Brian?
About 2%.
Really?
So far, because they're
I'll
going to drag the
tell
heels.
you 3.
3 people? Wow.
Not sure about anything with this.
It's crazy because they're going to drag the heels and try and get the interest of it while it's in the accounts, aren't they? So they're just going to drip.
It isn't only us, is it? You got us, the worst people, women, the post office. There's that other one with the when they
Play, isn't it?
do that, they have to compensate any relative
Yeah, something
alive.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I know, but
brothers,
isn't there somewhere along the line?
there will be. I mean, some people took the risk and had children anyway, and luckily those children are around to get the poor families when the dad had hemophilia, was given HIV, and they passed it on to their partners. So,
It's terrifying, isn't it? It's horrific.
Lauren, let me tell you about Lauren quickly. Her mum and dad died 4 children, including Lauren. Lauren's dad, whom I know, Stephen, he had hemophilia. He met Lauren's mum, who already had 2 children, but they took the chance to have Lauren and their brother Luke, and after having Lauren, they both became HIV. Lauren was taken into care at the age of 4, and 3 days after they'd taken Lauren, Mum died 2 days later.
Oh, God.
Situation.
But they were married, though, weren't they?
I know.
And in this day and age, I, I don't know why they do that.
Because
So if I can just clarify, if you don't mind,
yeah.
so 2 men in a gay relationship, they're actually married. The transverse myelitis test, didn't
Yeah.
we? And we went in as a married couple, and the first question he asked him was, "Did he have AIDS?"
No way.
Honestly, seriously.
You've done a HIV
And
test.
sitting there as a wife hearing a male doctor asking my husband if I got AIDS, I was quite taken aback. I just didn't have words to even say anything. And I sat there at the time and I thought, well, how shocking is that? But
My knees down to my toes, and from me elbows to me fingers.
It's a strand of a link there again,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Connection, yeah. Yeah.
I think it's more about the radio waves in the air.
For you.
Right.
I have Bluetooth in my van, and I blame it on that.
Right, okay.
The waves
But
in
the
the air.
research that we've
Yeah.
linked to inject things like that along the way. We're
Yeah.
just to 10 past now, Bridge. And I think this is something that we can either come back to next week
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
go into, because we haven't touched a lot of the things that we've been talking about amongst
No,
ourselves. And what I really wanted to do for both of our communities is discuss your personal angle. I know you didn't mind doing it, and to discuss how you.
in private lawyers
Yeah.
in the scene where that
I don't think we've seen that.
he
I have, but it was many years ago, Bridge. I can't recall.
and like the band meant she was a runaway Jew, but the symbol on the badges was similar to that, like
Yeah.
the Monday to sit there and all hell broke loose. I mean, what you told us all these years to help each other. Yeah, I mean,
We're going to have to go now, Bridge, and get ready for our live stream. But
yeah,
I don't really want to say I enjoyed it, although I did. I always enjoy talking to you.
yeah,
Services are capable of. It's even shocking to hear the facts that have been going on for many years, and it's hard for me to perceive and think, has it genuinely stopped, or is there still some of it going on to a level today? You know,
It's just good to get the word out there from somebody who
I
lived it.
think it's something we have to come back to next week and
okay,
go a little bit more, talk about the cases, the details that are happening after the fact now, and what you feel is important enough to talk about, Bridget.
yeah, okay, yeah. Maybe to give you a hint of where to look. Have you watched any of the inquiry?
Just a bit of it, not much, because as I say, we haven't had a lot of time. But before next week's chat, we will actually
We'll
take
cover
in
like the
the
inquiry and
inquiry. We
Yeah,
bits of it, but we've been trying to look at break down what the medication was and
yeah,
understand what they coming in from a basic level of understanding what words mean, what different things are. But by next
yeah,
week, we'll know more about. I mean, that guy, that Clark guy. Oh, I could rip his head off. I could. You know, the thought I've had about that
I
man. What?
know. I was here watching it with my phone in my hand right now,
Yeah.
talking to my mate Abe, and then can you believe him? I mean, unbelievable, mate.
Well,
They,
we'll cover him. We'll cover him, and we'll let you show a video or two, and show it's you and it's your life and it's reality.
yeah.
thanks, Bridget.
Thank you so much, love.
Right,
Um,
And
right,
we'll see you on the other side.
we'll see you on the other side for the
yeah,
next one.
yeah. All right then.
Love you, Han. Speak to you soon.
Thanks, Bridget.
Right.